crouching with the AW position. Earthshaker's moving in as well. Echo Slam connects on to 2. Macro Tire down as well.
Red always wins the brawl. Or can we cast the curse in? Oh, there we go.
Lootbet.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to Lootbet to cash out now.
Hello folks, welcome back to our second best of 3 of the day. You're here joining us for Lootbet Season 6. And we're here, of course, taking you through our first day of main event competition. The second best of 3, of course, Team Secret versus the Go lineup. It is certainly set to be quite something. Of course, 20 teams in the league, $50,000 on the line. If you were $50,000 richer, Danny, what would be the first thing that you would buy?
That's actually such a difficult question right now because I can't really say there's something I truly need in this world right now. Maybe some good Counter-Strike to keep me going through this, of course, period, kind of difficult period for all of us. So, I don't know. Maybe I'd make my own league and some more Counter-Strike for everyone to watch. I think that's a fair way to go about things.
That's got to be fair, that's got to be the most thought out answer I've ever received to that question. Usually it's like, oh, I'd go buy a Ferrari or something, or I'd go on a holiday.
Sure, that's an option.
This man loves his Counter-Strike, ladies and gents. He would just make more Counter-Strike happen. I mean, it's a great answer. I'll give you that.
I mean, if I were to make a purchase of a car, like, people think I'm stupid, honestly. Because the car I'd be thinking of is like one of those like older Russian Ladas. I don't know why, but I dig the look of those cars. They look absolute trash. They're so cool at the same time. I don't know.
That feeling when you say a car looks trash, yet you want it, is just that is a special kind of person right there. But what's special about you also, Danny, is that you're a Counter-Strike commentator and you're going to commentate some Counter-Strike today. It's Go versus Secret. The pistol round kicks off. Oscar, oh, baby, lovely double kill. What's not to love? Synopsy will trade it right back. Only one. And Flatshrow pulls into second as he finds Ferlan. Groovy will bring it right back into contention, though, for the CT side, as they still deny the bomb plant.
Bomb has been denied, that is, and Flatshrow kind of looked like his crosshair was almost dead on the 2 players, but couldn't really make it work. Interesting tidbit heading into this matchup is, yes, this is Ago's map pick, but they actually have a pretty bad track record these past 3 months on this map, yet they decided to go for this pick. Even though Secret, we've seen them play on Nuke, and they really shown some good stuff on it. Honestly, they do seem pretty decent on it. So we'll just have to wait and see if Ago really got something going for them. For now, it's the first push around, and it's damn fine and dandy. Team Secret, it's gonna be just a simple eco. Looks like they're all going outside.
Yeah, just looking to get some fresh air. Maybe looking to make an attack down Secret. Classic jump boost over. What's not to love? Actually, though, they haven't really checked outside at all, have they? Bit of a disaster. The Famous just chews them up from behind.
Yeah, it's not a very good eco, but it's always difficult to be winning those. Tutson, though, thought he might even get a kill in that situation. Really not gonna happen. Yeah, Ago. Love the fact they're able to mop up the opposition without losing the single player. That is absolutely great. You want to see the type of stuff more often from even some of the higher level teams in Counter-Strike or even in this league in general. Well, now that's a bit unorthodox. Look at Ago go. Look at the aggressiveness they're showing out here. Wanting to fight for lobby control very early on here, having individuals pushing through hut. Synapse has been smoked off. This is a very peculiar setup right now from Ago. They're putting a lot of emphasis on controlling lobby, but that control won't really net them anything because Team Secret have still gone down Secret. They're going to begin to move up towards the B-bomb side in MHL. He's only got the scout to work with. A tag is good and all that, but if there's more players barreling on through, he's going to have to whip out something better. Not necessarily bigger. Oh, nice. Very good kill coming through there. MHL eliminates one of the players. That bomb plant will commence. Percy punching in those digits. And Ago absolutely want to go for the retake. Oh, Percy, good shot there in MHL. One player down. 4 to go.
Problem is these smokes are making life really difficult for the CT side. As they make their pushes, they're constantly delayed. The Famus is going to be good for one, but an immediate trade comes through. You see the storyline. For the rest, this one Flatro pushes this one over the line. Team Secret definitely had a couple of sketchy moments, but you see that one smoke on the left side of ramp, hugely valuable. Just completely slows down this retake.
It really does, and it comes down to the fact that Team Secret, we've seen them play in the closed qualifier, and one thing that we can take from is that this is a skilled roster. They may not necessarily be a very tactically depth roster team that has a lot of tactical depth, but they're a team that have some great star potential, and that's the thing that could really carry them through here at this 6th season at Lootbet. Let's see though, Fiku. Not going to see any players from Team Secret just yet, and I really like the fact that Team Secret, they're still going for outside control, but there is one of a change in their arsenal. Almost every single player has opted to pick up a Krieg. Of course, if you're going outside, you want to have that scope for some of the longer range duels.
One Flatro is going hunting now. He's actually in Secret. Wonder if he can take the 1v1 against someone like Furlan here. And use that to take B control very early on. Very little punishment from the rest of the CTs. Who haven't got a huge amount of support set up for B right now. Oh, I love this too. What a great way to take that duel against Furlan. Peek comes through. Furlan hits the deck, and the B site is pretty much theirs. The only response will be from ramp, and has to be said, feels like that's a little bit of a weak response from the CT side. And look at the utility usage. Immediately, not only aggression from Synopsy, but the double molly to deny any push from ramp onto B.
Yeah, indeed. It's almost impossible, I'd say, to retake something like the B-bomb site if you don't have a ramp. In this case, it is just going to have to be the save for the Ago roster. There's really nothing more they can do in this situation. It's only the tough nature here on a map like Nuke is that whenever you lose the lower bomb site so quickly, and the players are not even in position to at least hold on to Decon, for example, or somewhere like ramp, you have an incredibly difficult time to even go for the retake. And in this case, it's not like it's a 4v4 or 3v3. It's 3v5. Team Secret, once they find those initial kills, they've basically secured themselves the ground victory on the back of it. And Ago, with at least some of the weaponry being saved, they're still in a position where they cannot invest. They're more than aware of it. But at the very least, in the Seco, they have some firepower, you know? Even that auto shotgun could come in handy if Team Secret players opt to go for a commitment on the upper bomb side.
It has to be said, we display Team Secret as a team without much tactical depth. Those were our, I believe, exact words. However, when you look back at some of these last couple of rounds, and actually the last few days, they have showed a few signs of improvement there, that they aren't all raw talent, and there is actually some potential team play. Case in point was the double molly on that B gun round, and also here as well, the timing of these peaks and the way they're using each other to force these duels is just perfection. Great molly as well to push even further back. And the B-side take is just, there's literally not a single thing to fault about it.
No, it's good. They take over the B-bomb save without any casualties. They win the gunfights. They now have full side presence, and again, it's the same old story that Ago in this position, they simply cannot contest this round. They just have to back away and save their weaponry here. Oscarish and Figure, though, staying here in secret, hoping to win at least some of these aim duels. Because worst case scenario, they can still buy up the next round, and they want to leave some kind of economical impact here on the secret economy. Otherwise, if it begins to spiral out of control, it will be difficult. Oscar goes down eventually, and that will be the third round here for Team Secret. This is, I believe, we've seen them cast now a few times before, and I think this is their third time actually again kicking things off here, Nuke on their T side. And just like last time around, their T side is looking nice. I mean, yeah, it's just the first couple of gun rounds, and so far it looks like they can keep up the pressure here. Aggro, they have to respond to set pressure with an investment, but as we can see, it's lacking in some departments, which could really come back to bite them.
It will be interesting, it will be to see if there's actually anything on the CT side of Secret. Their T side has been pretty stellar, as you mentioned. Slightly slower start here as well from Secret. Rather than doing anything too wild, instead they just have two players who are going to be working some outside control. Third's now just to join. Not going to be heading towards Secret this time around. I imagine they're going to be looking for an A split here. Flanchery likely to take the duel against MHL. Spotted, taken down, and surely now it's just a case of wait for that smoke to fade. Make the split happen, especially with the fact they've got the second molly towards Secret now, just pushing back yet again. That's got to be so frustrating, being the player sat there ready and waiting. You're just always finding yourself having to be pushed back. Finally get some value, though, because they do come his way, so at least there is something for him.
Something for Oscarish as well. He killed here on Lobby. Second kill, in fact. Now we even have Fiku moving up, and this round is looking good for Ago. Oscarish now in a very winnable clutch situation, but Anarquez, remember, he still has the bomb on his shoulder, so positioning that is known, he can just go down the B-bomb side, plant that bomb, and now wait for Oscarish. Wait for him to come. And Oscarish, that's the big problem for him, is that in this situation, he needs to win the aim duel desperately. He needs to do it quickly, and Undercast, that's such a good read. He's gonna win the clutch. Nice work around there by Undercast. Eliminates the player who had the notion of trying to move up there on control room. That's another round now being picked up by Team Secret. Remember, the initial couple of rounds, they went in favor of Ago, but so far, these 4 rounds in a row have been won by Team Secret.
It's always interesting, kind of the early piece of a Counter-Strike game, because although you see a lot of gun round victories, the pistol can really help you look like you're more in the game than you are when it's kind of the 4-2 scoreline or even 6-2. The reality of it right now is that we haven't seen success post-pistol. Nice quick kill there, at least, to make some punishment in this round, but after all, it's just pistols. There shouldn't really be too many opportunities. Vika does have Kevlar, so always could be room for him to be a little wild if he can get a gun in his hands. Might be able to get the bomb here, actually. If he plays his cards right, you never know.
It's plausible at this point, but the bomb carrier still has, some backup. It's not like Anarquez is out here by his lonesome. There are his teammates surrounding him. Like the good bodyguards they are. Oh, they actually still check the angle, but it's a little bit sloppy. There's a frag coming through. I mean, Chill actually picks up one. That's the problem, it is a little bit of a sloppy push here from Team Secret, but there's no denying it. They're still in a very winnable position, and they know it. They're going to abandon hope here towards outside, or the A-bomb side for that matter. That it's going back to their old shenanigans here on the lower side. The bomb pod will definitely come through. And Oscarish and MHL have a few options in this round. I mean, they can actually try and recover some of the weapons here, maybe try and save them, or try to go for these aim duels, which seem to be plausible still for Oscarish. Not so much for MHL, who's just sitting on 11 points of health. But yeah, 25 seconds remaining. Might as well do some scavenging outside and look for any weapons you can pick up.
At least he'll get the Krieg out of it. It's not all bad.
No, even better. 2 Kriegs.
That's actually quite nice getting the second Krieg.
So now, they don't necessarily even need to have an offer, for example, to face outside. They could very easily just have one of the players on the Krieg. These still have AVHL and the AWP though. So now if you combine the two,
going double up now.
well,
VQ
it's
has enough.
possible. So does Furlan, but probably not. I'd say just so because on a map like Nuke, especially the CE side, it's quite a heavy rotation map. So if you're just going to be having one player in the op, that's pretty good. The second guy, it's a bit more difficult in my opinion. So probably just going to stick with someone like MHL in the AWP and have the other guys back on rifles. And one of the things I do want to see is that X-Kom Agio at this point really got to contest outside control. They simply kind of give it away too easily for Team Secret. Maybe you could see some early engagements go on, especially with an AWP in a position of MHL. They can absolutely go for some of these early fights. Or even if they don't want to go for the early fights, just hold on towards that part of the map, because even last time around, you can see the Team Secret's main goal does seem to be acquire some outside presence, and from there, they begin to work around the map.
Already deep into Secret. The mobility of Juan Flatro almost holding W pretty much the entire round there as he then goes for the old school fake flash smoke combo, just trying to get past the orb. Very interesting place to play an orb, that actually. Not something you see too often.
It's difficult as well. I guess you're gonna have to be very precise with the AWP. But in the case of the operator here, he's probably not gonna find a lot of success, unlike his teammate Oscar, who are doing so much good work with the Krieg. Already 3 kills being picked up. Not the 4th though, was incredibly close to achieving it. There we go. Nade will get the finishing move.
Straight through. He lined that up perfectly through a smoke as well. Really nicely done. It's an aggressive angle with the open Secret like that, but because if you miss the first shot, actually, you're pretty much a dead man. However, when you've got someone like Oscar who is just hitting every single shot, there really isn't much you can do against that. And they also didn't really use the man they had in Secret. They got that such nice positional advantage early on. Didn't do anything with it. They just went A like normal. I think they were hoping that he would come up vent, but he kind of just chilled, did his own thing, and really feel that team cohesion that we've previously seen in Secret. It kind of goes back to your point about maybe just that gaps in tactics sometimes. There's a bit of a brawl occurs outside. It goes Team Secret's favour in the end, though. Fiku steps up and starts to trade things back. This is where things get a little rough now. As Percy falls it, becomes a real problem, but thankfully finds a kill of his own. And Arquez takes down the AWP on Furlan. Leaves it all on Oscar, who just simply gets whittled down.
It was a nice change-up though from Ivo from a tactical perspective, is that here it felt like the flashbangs might have been a little bit off. 50 though, I'm surprised that he was able to find so much success here. 2 kills, but eventually players from Agro maybe, oh yeah, they get absolutely wrecked there, but also the last player coming in the back lines. Really the satisfying stuff for Agro. They decide to change things up after the victory and not really using the AWPs to their fullest potential. But one of the operas, MHL, he's out here towards outside. Yet again, he's going to make sure that if these players went across, he must do so on his guard. There is actually, wow, there wasn't a second smoke being thrown out, and Juan Flatro still sneaks past through Secret without taking a single point of damage. I don't know how has he done that.
Still taking the good fight outside. You can see that orb and a rifle in front, taking it very close. They are able to secure the trade though. So something there as Juan Flatro. Second kill of the day for him.
He gets it all right. And now Oscarish, in this position, I mean, he's gonna try to hold, sure, but he should be an easy target here for Team Secret, as now they have another huge advantage heading into this round. They can go really wherever they want. And Oscarish does win the fight against Synapsy. That's quite nice. He's gonna try to retreat into the side, but my one big gripe right now for Team Secret is that players need to group up, and they're finally going to do so on the A-bomb side. Oscarish, though, has been superb, but even he has his limits. Fiku and Oscarish are the two really standout players here. I mean, Fiku was sitting on 12, I saw. Oscarish on 13. The other players, not so much. Can't say their contribution is as good as the other two players that I've just mentioned, and that's costing them. That's definitely costing them here on the defensive, where really everyone needs to step up.
Yeah, definitely.
The T side, you can have like these two standout players, but here,
CT side, you can't afford a weak link, right? That's basically the key thing there, is that you can't have one player who's struggling, because realistically, a good T side will identify. I'm going to use you as an example here, Danny. We'll go, you know what? Danny is sucking on B right now. He's horrendous. So we're just going to go B in every round. We'll try and punish and play around the fact that we can punish Danny. Hopefully, you don't suck on the B side, but you get the gist, folks. If you're able to identify a player who's really performing under par, then you're going to capitalize on that. So it's definitely an important point here. Also, on a map like Nuke, there are some pretty big areas of the map that if you have a player who isn't able to hold on to them, they become huge problems. And outside is a perfect example of this. If your outside player is either not getting the support he needs or is just not able to perform, that's really going to make your CT side difficult, because there's just so much capability there. Where you can go.
Team Secret just really going wherever they want. They are being contested a little bit, though. It's not like they are plowing through the opponents. But here in this 3-on-3, finally, they're going to group up and go down the B-bomb side. Oscarish definitely hears the footsteps, definitely is giving the information for his teammates, Grubby and MHL. Will begin to make their way from ramp. That's a good Molotov, and Arquez does go down. Grubby losing quite a bit of his HP, but the whole point is getting that kill, and I like this change from Team Secret. Abandon all hope towards the B-bomb side, move up towards A. Percy. Oh, Oscarish might have been hot on their heels. Percy is more than aware of such a push being a possibility. Grubby and MHL right now, this is a difficult 2v2. Where are the defuse kits? They're non-existent. They're back in spawn, and Grubby goes down. MHL needs to win this one, and I think Tutson might have spotted out the player. I'm not sure about it, but he's gonna land the headshot regardless.
This is a really rough situation, I feel like, for the CT side to be in now, because I mean, Nuke is one of those maps where you do typically see some fairly wide scorelines in the first half, especially when you look back into the history of Nuke, but I still want to see 5 rounds really for the CT side. If we can see a 10-5, I think that sets them up for at least an opportunity to come back into this, but really feels like, just based on the momentum of Secret, that we could be seeing something much worse here as MHL struggles to connect. He gets a second chance, and that he'll land. Fiku lands one of his own. Does give them the upper hand. Secret control again being the aim of the game here as Oscar takes down Arquez. It's starting to look much more positive. Lots of individual duels being won. Synopsy becomes the last man standing.
And he knows certain Grubby looking to smite him, but he survives somehow. So Synopsy is looking to do damage here on Tiger. This is impressive. Ooh. Almost catches Fick out there in the middle of open. Surprised Fick was still able to land that shot so quickly, yo. Had to scope in, target a player, and still land it. That is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. Though initially, again, this push from Team Secret was looking very good, but if Fick is positioning, it is perfect. That's one player that I really want to highlight here. I believe this is the first time I ever get to witness Fiku play. And I gotta say, this kid is doing some fine work here at Outset, and fine work for Ago in general. Some really impactful kills being found thanks to him.
I just want to see more of it on the CT side from everyone now. Really want them to just get themselves at minimum to 5 here, as I've talked about before. Hopefully he can be a key part of making that happen. Also, auto shotgun and plate, always an interesting gun to see on Nuke, and I feel like one of those maps where actually, much like on old school Cobblestone, you could actually get away with legitimately making the choice to buy it. I mean, Drop Zone Cobblestone was always interesting with the shotgun.
Tight angle from Furlan, though.
What made?
His teammate being overwhelmed.
Oh! How do you get a collat on someone's head? Oh boy. Fair play. I mean, that is a place to be getting a kill. We've talked about how aggressive that angle is for an AWPer, but they make it stick.
They do. And I mean, this is just boom. I can't believe he was able to find so much work with that one bullet. And you know what? This is still doable for Ago to try and earn a couple more rounds here on this first half. Yeah, it's definitely, I'd say it's gone down the toilet for the majority of the first half, but at least they can get back to 6.
They struggled, but they got to 5. 5 was what I felt like they needed on their CT side. The fact they're now going to get 6 because of just the way the economy's panned out for Team Secret, this is actually much better than I thought it was going to be. So, if anything, I'm a lot happier. I think they won a crucial buy round right as we started discussing the scoreline, which is what's going to set them up here to really have a say in this game. As long as they don't let anything wild happen with the pistols, then we should be in a really good place here, I think.
No, not in this round, trust me. Nothing wild going on here. Let's see how the next round pans out, though. But thing is, though, yeah, Ago will be seeing on their 6th 4x3? Something tells me Furlan's gone for the 4x3 resolution. Did he see the player? Oh my, okay, there's another heavy. Still, it's going to be quite difficult to recover the bomb, all things considering, but he's going to try to give us his best shot here. Percy, moving in. There's actually just one player has to find at this point. The 2 individuals here playing this one really far back. Fiku is not really in a position to help out his teammate Oscarish, not to mention that the 2 are very far apart from one another.
They seem to be opting to take the 2 1v1s, basically saying if you go B, we'll retake it together. If you try to go A, we'll both be able to win our own duels. That's pretty much what the strategy seems to be. He's going to step forward, picks up the bomb. Unfortunately, loses the 1v1 against Oscar.
Yeah, the aim punch there really. The aim punch there really messes up Percy's aim, and he just wasn't able to win. There we go. 6 rounds now in the favor of Ago. I'm not sure this is going to be enough, though.
Random question. How old is Fiku? Do you have any idea? I feel like he looks about 15.
I have no clue. But I will say this, though. He does look young. You're going for 15?
He's 16. There you go.
He's 16. I wanted to look it up for you.
Right, I beat you to it. I thought he was a young player, but didn't realize he was that young. 16 years old. That's a talented 16-year-old, has to be said.
Oh, that's the thing. Nowadays in Counter-Strike, there seems to be like these youngsters who are able to do some fine shooting. Well, on Flatro, he's also a capable player. But these youngsters are now coming into Counter-Strike. They are incredible, if I'm being honest.
That's really quite surprising. I didn't quite realize that. But definitely, to your point, there's a lot of really young, incredible players nowadays. It's the beauty of the sport. What matters in Counter-Strike and in esports is what you can do with a mouse and keyboard. Nothing more.
Move on in, alright. On the B-bomb side, Team Secret. Is there anyone from Ago who could actually try and oppose him? I don't think so. I believe the closest player is in lobby, which simply is not good enough. Synapsy always in a prime position to at least get a couple here. One? Sure, the one would be good enough still. The bomb does go down on the lower side. Grubby and Furlan trying to go for the retake. Furlan already goes in. Grubby, though, He's a little bit late. He's not going to join his teammate that quickly. He might go down the vents though. And as he does, begin descending down the ladder. Trust me, someone from Team Secret is more than aware of it. Actually, no, Juan Flatcher goes in for the peak, and he wins it though, eventually. It wasn't like Ruby actually gave away any sort of sound cue, and yet Juan Flatcher, so good to go out there, swing out, peek, get the kill.
All in all, not the greatest of halves early on, I think, for the Echo lineup. You can see they started off well with the pistol, but then really struggled to convert from there. But rounds 13 or 12 through 14, sorry, very, very important to the Echo lineup, because that's what gave them the 3 they needed to arguably have an acceptable half. Now going into the T side, if they can repeat their pistol success and get some gun rounds linked together, then we may have a game on our hands.
Well, we're looking for a good game on our hands. Ago, gonna be looking to start things off strong here with a very quick advancement down the lower ramp. There is, though, Team Secret are winning the aim duels. Undercast does go down. Tutson finds one, but X-Kom are able to reply. One Flatcho sprays wildly with the USB, but not giving him a single kill. Now I can definitely hear the players going down the vents, so Tutson will try and stop some of them, but actually, no, he's not going to swing out in the vents. One Flatcher going down Secret, same for Tutson. Now the bomb will be planted here at the B-bomb site. They don't really have the kits to work with here, Team Secret, but if they can find the frags quick enough, that could be it. But Juan Flatcher hits the deck. For Tutson to win this one, he's going to have to come up huge.
Not really much that Tutson could be able to do here, is there?
No,
Kind
not
of searching
really.
for opportunities. Ooh, nice first shot, but realistically, not going to happen. That's the best case start, though, for this T side. They're going to be very happy with that. That's 2 pistols in the bag for them. Which, given how it ended in the first half, they should be over the moon. Let's just not also repeat the rest of that half, which is now where they struggle to win a single buy round, and it gets very, very painful for them. Scrape through with even a mediocre scoreline, hopefully. We see something a tad more positive.
I love the fact how
just
Oscar's
crawl
just
into his
holding
death?
it angle. Yeah, basically. Unlucky. It's odd as well how he didn't expect a player to be in that position. Or maybe he just didn't think that Oscarish would just hold the angle for as long as possible. Speaking of holding angles, Undercast, good little frag there on one of the players. I could see on Flatro sneaking past through. Team Secret right now. This is their bread and butter. This is the type of rounds they seem to always be capable of winning. Back on pistols, back on force buys, and they somehow finding the kills. Maybe they can set the record straight here, Agro, but so far, so good for Team Secret. 3-on-2. Agro still need to make their way on one of the bomb sites, and the way they're moving in right now tells me that they might reconsider their options, abandon hope on B, and look for something on A. Max 7 in your face, FHL. And Oscarish moving in with a Galil. There's a problem though. There's a Max 7 they're gonna have to face, or even worse, an AK-47. Team Secret. I mean, time and time again, throughout the qualifiers, now in the regular season as well, Team Secret is so good at winning these rounds when they seem to have no hope or no chance.
I feel like we're literally replaying the first half again, because it was the same thing that happened then. Very, very similar, and I really, really am going to beat this point home. They cannot afford to repeat that. Already, early duels taken towards outside. The scout of Arquez will let rip, and the headshots are landing, so what you want to be seeing, he nearly gets a second there as well, actually. You have to be very careful how many times you want to re-peek in this angle. It becomes almost a daunting feat to beat out a T-side scouter there. They just have so much mobility to be able to running around, while meanwhile, you don't have much you can do.
Well, you could probably put on a hard hat if you're Team Secret. Those deagles are dangerous. Deadly as well. Percy just gonna hold mouse 1 to eliminate Grubby. And Arquez will continue hold the line with the scout. Of course, in this situation, Agro not finding as much success as Team Secret did, which in a round like this, I mean, there's various approaches you can go for. You can obviously slow things down, maybe hope for Deagles to actually get in those positions to find the frags. Some teams will just make the force buy and probably not use the best of it. And this is also a reasonable approach, is just make an advancement on a bomb site very quickly, very sporadically, which at times can really work out. While as you have the pistols, you do have that mobility advantage. And if you go for some things like P250s or Tech 9s, we don't really get to see those too often nowadays. But the point is that with the pistol mobility, you can overwhelm a site rather quickly. Just that if it comes down to the hold, that's where some issues come up. In this case, I mean, they're gonna try to run down vents, or at least some of them will. It's not a very good effort. In fact, they're being shred like paper. So much so that Team Secret not gonna lose a single player. They're gonna be happy about that.
Reminds me of Mertz almost, this graphic. Except rather than seeing Mertz here, we've got MHL. Fiku does sneak into the spotlight though, getting the most kills.
He does. He is doing some fine work here, you know? The Agos side, he's been the most impactful player, and clearly on the server as well. Synapsy, what is this? This is some early aggression. Oh, they're even moving up the ladder here. Ago dropping 2 players so quickly.
The fact that he dies up the ladder confuses his opponent because his opponent peeks, sees him, he dives up the ladder to escape, and his teammate then refrags the terrorist. That is comical in the way that's played out. You have got to be fuming. What a disastrous way to lose a buy round. Really is. Quick and easy from Team Secret, 13-7.
And clearly we switch sides at this point. Team Secret going so fast, so aggressively as well. Terrorists were confused. They were supposed to be the aggressors of that round. And the defenders just absolutely changed the script.
Yeah, not quite sure what anybody was expecting to see, but...
No, not really, but this is a dilemma here for Agro. The dilemma they have to face, and a lot of teams have to face in Counter-Strike. Going for the purchase, get it all down, they just have to go for the 1 eco here, and they're getting demolished because of it, because their deagles are not as precise as the ones on Team Secret. That's another quick round. 14 right now for Team Secret, and at least Agro can come back into this one because they have money. They can invest, they can get the op in the hands of MHL. Things are looking up. However, in terms of scoreline, that's the big problem. Right now, there is a very big deficiency for Agro if they want to achieve victory. Gotta start somewhere, and they gotta start it doing it now. Otherwise, this thing is gonna very quickly go in favor of Team Secret. Early grenade there being deployed by Oskrish. Let's give him some vision. And Furlan, did not see the player. I don't think he had. Oh. One Flatro, perfect timing.
That Molotov is 200 IQ. He uses the molly, forces the sound tick to confirm his position, and then lets rip into the smoke to get the kill.
That's true.
Really quite smart.
Very smart Molotov. Yeah. Big brain. Tutson has also got the brawn. Does go down eventually, but he's done some fine shooting. I mean, he has eliminated 3 players. It's only Lonesome Thick who has to deal with the remaining individuals, and there's just so many of them, and that's a good wide swing to eliminate 1. He does still have the bomb with him. Don't forget that, folks. So maybe this is a plausible 1 versus 5 scenario, and Fig is just moving around all over the map. He could be literally anywhere.
I wonder if he better actually. If he expected just really hard checked angles, he could have won that duel against Sanopsy potentially, just given HP alone. have been a bit more of an interesting scenario. They unfortunately doesn't check every corner, but it's always hard to do that anyway, especially given the time. That molly was so smart. Just used it on the off chance a player was hiding there, and based on the fact that he could hear the flames ticking away, just gets the kill. Just starts spraying through the smoke. Really, really smart. Nonetheless, 15-7. Go not having the greatest of second half so far. We talked about how repeating the first half would be, unfortunately, the end of the game for them. That seems to be the case. Unable to get going after a pistol round victory. We thought that was the start of something. Simply not true. Team Secret feeling very confident with their nuke play. They've had a few ups and downs. We thought we saw a resurgence even at the end of the first half, but it's not really quite enough. Plant does come through here, an opportunity for a go, but the retake is just looking thick and fast. Orps are plenty. Volley to force out the peak. Oscar next in line to hit the deck, leaving just Fiku. The young gun of 16 years of age, trying to do it all on his own. Not gonna happen. 16-7, that will be the final result in map number 1 of this best of 3. The result of a go losing their map pick is the pressure being placed for that too. Right back on that very soon.
Going through the smoke, Wox is gonna go down. Wox with the AW
Position, Earthshaker's moving in as well. Echo Slam connects onto 2. Back row tire down as well.
always wins the brawl. Or can we cast the curse in? There we go.
Lootbet.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to Lootbet to cash out now.
chase my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to Lootbet to cash out now.
Hello folks and welcome back to map number 2 in our best of 3 series. It's Team Secret versus the Aggo lineup. It's been an interesting best of 3 so far. Our first map took us to the sunny old Nuke and, well, what a battle it was. Aggo desperately tried to make something happen, but unfortunately, pistol round gods, gun round failures, I suppose is a harsh way to put it. I couldn't quite think of a nicer way to describe that, but nonetheless...
News?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty brutal still, but look, okay. Mirage now is going to be the focus, and I think that although it's not the pick of Aggo, I don't believe so, unless the graphic is wrong. I think it's Team Secret's pick, but I still think this could be a good opportunity for them. I don't think they're a bad Mirage team, not by a long shot, and frankly, I don't think a lot of people are bad Mirage players. It's the most played map in Counter-Strike, so...
I'd say it's quite difficult to be like horrible on this map, even if you end up having a pretty bad hack. Kind of bounce back on that second one and still make or have a somewhat doable scoreline. It's just that here, heading into this matchup, yeah, it's gonna be Team Secret's pick, and if you're Aggo, they themselves have played a fair bit of Mirage. That's just how it is. The nature of this level of Counter-Strike, Mirage crops up quite often in the best of 3, so. It's really no surprise that we ended up having another Mirage game after the previous one. But heading into this one for Aggo, maybe they have been shook up in terms of confidence. Their own map pick of Nuke, they didn't succeed here with a win, and they had a very difficult T side of Nuke. Now they're going to have to kick things off here on Mirage T side as well, which it's different to Nuke. Absolutely. But I wonder if Aggo do have the players that can now step up, because that was one of the main issues. Fiku, Oscars, these two guys having a stellar game, but the other individuals, not so much. Synapse, though, that's a good start for Team Secret, and Aggo will continue on with the push here. One Flatro, when will he pounce? He'll do it now. It's time to line him up, and he's got himself the kills. Now you have Percy and Tutson, who are still in fine positioning, and Percy's gonna sneak past through. The bomb is yet to be planted. It's out there in the open, and Aggo needs to recover it.
That is such a nice... The bomb could not be in a better of a place for the CT side, could it? Even with it being pulled back like that, it just is so valuable. It allows Tudson to get up close and personal like this. You can just tap him down. This whole round is going to be... It's going to live or die by that bomb positioning.
That's a big problem, isn't it? The bomb being dropped so early there in the middle of nowhere. And Aggo have to waste a lot of time in order to pick it up. Like these shots from One Flatro, really impactful. That bomb being dropped really wastes a lot of time here for Aggo. And even though they do get the bomb plant, they do take the loss eventually. But again, bomb plant, it's quite important here. Because with bomb plant,
bomb physics never cease to amaze me. That bomb has gone flying forwards.
It happens.
That just literally took off and yeeted across the map. I'm sorry. There is no way it travels that far. That's ridiculous. That is such a CSGO moment. Obviously, he clearly just decided in that last second to try and stray forward as he died, and the bomb just went flying. That would have been so much nicer for them if it was closer to ramp, because obviously they could have just grabbed it on the cross.
Yeah, it's a heavy thing as well, that bomb. And somehow in Counter-Strike, it just flies everywhere, all directions. Weird how it works.
It's like grenades, though. If you
yeah, exactly, I thought about it as well. Like,
literally, like, on that step is a great example. If you throw a frag grenade on the bottom step and you're standing on the top step, you won't actually take damage from it, because frag grenades are dumb. That is Counter-Strike in a nutshell. Or should I say, the modeling of frag grenades is a little questionable sometimes. There are certain maps you can definitely be taken advantage of. That said, Wan Flatro making it look very easy, dealing with all of the pistol players, leaving just Fiku. I feel like you just peek this because you know what, you know the inevitable is going to happen eventually. We'll give it a good go, it seems, but there we go. Team Secret 2-0. Perfect start.
And we make it clean as well, which is also quite important. Of course, they've gone for the eco here for one purpose and one purpose only. Is that because in this round, the third one, they could actually buy themselves the weaponry. A lot, in fact. AK-47s, utility as well. Only one player opting to go for the Krieg. That's going to be Grubby in his position. And, well, Agro. We can see one of the individuals heading over towards top mid very quickly. There's a smoke for him to try and cross safely. There's a grenade, and that is some fine utility usage because now you see one of the players has sneaked up here towards short and even in ladder room. That's Oscarish in that position. I'm not sure if Percy is aware of a player being there, but he now should keep a close eye on short just in case such a player does exist. And, well, they're going to try to change up the pace. They're moving up very quickly here, Ago. The problem is they've only won one duel thus far. That's simply not good enough. Percy's holding strong towards short. There's a player in the apartments. Oh, that's a mistake. Undercast, though, timing's a little bit off as well. Now he's looking for his teammate. Oh, that's a tag, wasn't it? Furlan goes down, and Grubby has to find it all. Gets himself one, looking for the second one. He's not expecting Synapsy from short. Someone ace up his sleeve.
Might not be expecting him. Still a good position to deal with short, though. Almost feels like timing is going to be crucial. If he gets up on top of Van, that also works out nicely for him. It's just whether he has to drop down to peek him or not. That's the question. You can see he's looking for it. Just spots it, but he ran out of ammo. Oh boy. What a heartbreak. That's a guaranteed kill, I feel like, if he can just connect those shots and not get caught out with a mid-fight reload. Almost guaranteed, I feel like. That's so unfortunate. I really hope we catch that in the replay. You can see it starts to let rip and then just no bullets left in the chamber. That's a rookie mistake.
Funny thing as well is that Synapsy, initially he wasn't aware where the bullets were coming from. You can see that he was swinging around, looking to his left, looking to his right. He's thinking, well, where is this player at? Then he sees him up towards Van, and it's just a matter of flicking up the crosshair and just spraying down a few bullets. So that really should have been Ago's round, if I'm being honest. Like, that's just unlucky grabbing that situation that he was not aware of the amount of bullets he had in his chamber.
Well, let's look at the positive, though. It was a close round that it came down to a one-on-one very early into the game, which is a really good sign because it shows us that there is some premise to what Ago can do on their T side of Mirage, and that hopefully, not to beat a dead horse because we talked about this a lot on Nuke, but again, it's can they actually connect the gun rounds here? Because that's what's most crucial. Ago have always been very good on these pistols and very good at making kind of almost low-buy rounds work, but it seems like they're really struggling in this best of three with connecting those gun rounds, so hopefully the 1v1 is a good sign of what's to come. Very early days into this series. Literally, we've seen 3 rounds, one of those being a gun round, so only time will tell. The immediate future, well, it's going to be pistols galore, 3 pieces of Kevlar, backed by a combination of Deagles and P250s. One thing is for certain, there are a lot of frag grenades on this T side. Ooh, and that nade is about to have a great time. So much damage done.
Pistols. They're actually finding a lot of work here. Percy still finds one more player here. Flatcher does eliminate one more individual here in the side of Agro, and we do have Oscarish in a peculiar position. He can actually begin to make his wraparound towards short, because I'm not sure if anyone from Team Secret is aware of his positioning. Oscarish is... Oh, Tutson is, though. Let it rip here, Tutson. Let's lose a bit of his health, but no worries. It's all going to get regenerated back in CD spawn. And just like I mentioned, there were a couple of grenades invested here by Ago, and for one purpose only. Chuck him in window, eliminate the opera or rifle or anyone who might be in the vicinity of that high explosive radius. It's a shame, though, that Only a few players goes down here for the side of Team Secret. But Ago, they're looking for more than just a few kills. They're looking for a round victory. They're back with the investment, and they even have an AWP in the hands of MHL.
Percy, very aggressive move. Should immediately be traded because unfortunately he's unable to connect on Furlan. That could have been huge, but just not the case. And from there, it pretty much crumbles, doesn't it? MHL, second pick on Synopsy. This round rapidly falling to pieces for the CT side here just because of a lot of aggression really in mid.
I guess that's the overconfidence now coming into play. Team Secret, you know, they win these 4 rounds in a row. They think that White might as well change things up a little bit. Percy does fail initially. That's a big problem of his positioning, is that once he fails the first couple of shots, he still believes he can somehow escape the bullets, the hellfire, by running in back into the smoke. But that's really far from the truth. What is the truth, though, is that Ago have hit an MTB bomb site. That's perfect for them. They're going to sweep things out, make sure there's not a single player around here. The bomb's obviously going to be planted, and now Team Secret just going to have to run away and try to save their weapons, which actually should be quite important by this point. One Flatro, I'm not really sure why he's facing MHL in this position, because at least if the 2 or even 3 rifles are saved, I'm 100% sure we see a very beefy investment from Team Secret. But here, Synapsy is just $150, on Flatro and $1,300, and Arquez $1,700. I'm sure that Team Secret's still going to go for the purchase, but it could have been way better if just a few rifles are saved.
100% saving 3 rifles there is the MVP decision for Secret because it gives them value in this round. Now they're going to have... Well, basically, they've just lost a full buy because they decided to face MHL. So that's really disastrous, to be honest. As you said, they're going to go for it anyway. They'll take the SMGs. It's not the end of the world, but this could have been a lot better. It really could have been. Disappointing, to say the least, but, you know, look, if they can make something stick here, use this as a reset opportunity, try and grind down the money of X-Kom, then perhaps this could be a positive. Obviously, this X-Kom Go lineup really looking to get their second here. MHL is on fire right now with the AWP. That's a 3rd kill in the last 60 seconds with that AWP. 2 in the previous. First blood here looking very good. The SMG gets aggressive. Unfortunately, immediately traded.
Efficient.
They're going to go out again. Synopsy now is pushing ramp again.
It's probably the most optimal play to make in this situation, because they're already man down. No, looks like Synapsy will consider the back way. Okay. But I also see the reasoning behind it, because Team Secret, they are man down, so it's either you look for information or you look for frags. Or in the case of Synapsy, he actually goes for both. Now, with just a minute remaining, that smoke grenade is deployed in a very timely fashion. We'll see Synapsy spotting out just a glimpse of the player there. Goes in for seconds. Tutson now springs into action, and it's Oscarish now left in the 1v2. Not that long ago, it was a very favorable position for Agro, but now Oscarish on the bomb site plants that bomb. He even has the possibility to make his way towards ramp. That's so nice. He's gonna have to stuck in this position though. The bomb is not really planned for him. And a player like Underkez does not have a defuse kit, meaning that he needs to try and take the fight to Oscarish, but that's incredibly difficult. With just the 8th WP and no armor, he was a very squishy target, and Ago secured themselves the victory on the back of an Oscarish clutch.
Exactly what you want to see. Really nice stuff, and hopefully from here, we're looking at 3 and 4 as well. It can start to equalize, and the game takes shape.
Yeah, Oscarish. This is so nice. As well for Underkez, the very big problem is that what he's looking for is that one-off shot. Hope that player Oscarish appears in his crosser, he can win it, but now we do see... Oh, wow. That's a lot of players there on the kill feed being displayed in just a matter of seconds. The team's secret roster is decimated by the AK-47s, and rightfully so. They didn't really stand much of a chance. And that's going to put them now on another round here. I'll go 3 to them. It's a bit of a streak right now. You know, we saw initially Team Secret winning 4 rounds in a row. Now it's Ago winning the 3 rounds in a row. This seems to be a more competitive first half, per se, than what we witnessed at the very end of Nuke.
Interesting time for a pause. I suppose you could put this on the Secret side. Perhaps they're just trying to ensure no more shenanigans occur, given just how critical a point this buy comes in terms of the first half. Likewise, a lot of value in this for the Go lineup too, though. That's what I like about pauses, actually. I always feel like pauses are a bit of a double-edged sword, because you use them for your team, but you also want to call the pause and give up that opportunity to your opponent as well, to also then be able to take that time.
Yeah, that's a very good point to make. That's why I think a lot of teams just don't go for the timeouts in general, especially in this level of Counter-Strike. I think that's one of the reasonings that they do have, is that, well, if I'm taking a timeout, my opponent's also going to probably make some kind of adjustment, so I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to continue on playing through as it was, even if it comes down to, you know, hitting the same brick wall time and time again. Which, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's the right perspective to go about it, but it's definitely, I can see the reasoning behind it. And Oscarish, well, he's got his own reasons to push up here aggressively towards short, but even he considers the back way. It's a very ballsy move to make. And of course, Ago, they're looking for opening frags, and at this point, they haven't found any, but now they will commit to the side. There's the smoke grenades coming in. Actually, there's not a lot of them. Fiku tries to line him up, gets another kill. This is good right now. Ago at least make their way to the bomb site. Fiku winning another impressive duel. And all in all, Team Secret come out on top. Actually, there was no utility usage from the Ago side. Not a smoke towards CT spawn, jungler stairs. They just went in guns blazing.
Crucial round, though, has to be said. It sets them off now to actually be able to pick back up again. Denying, obviously, Go a crucial chance also to equalize. So, definitely will be happy about how that one's played out. Looks like we're going to see aggression here now. The key theme. MHL, again, another opening pick. The value in him right now as a player is huge. Really waking up in Mirage. Fletcher, meanwhile, dives straight through ramp. This time, able to duck and weave in, grab a frag, and then immediately retreat from there. Might also see Percy get a kill. Oh, Percy, look below you, Chief. Oh, no, he could have easily got a kill there, maybe even 2. Just withdraws from the situation, so at least gets away unscathed, but I don't think his team know they're out underpass. They're going to be fuming. All begins to crumble over at the A side. What a complete disaster. Tudson is able to trade, so keeps the 2v2 alive, but what a rough situation. Percy using the act of surprise, though, to get him out through CT. That leaves it all on Fiku. Makes it the 1v1. Takes a lot of damage in the process, though. I think Percy's aware of that fact. Starts to watch a shoot at the edge of the boxes, but doesn't connect the shot. Fiku, out of nowhere, gets the headshot. The 16-year-old young gun steps up at a huge time of need.
I wonder if we could actually see the replay of that clutch situation for Fiku, because I believe as the grenade was being thrown out from connector, it actually didn't really land at its designated target over towards default. It actually landed close by Fiku, thus he lost quite a lot of HP already. And I was thinking, right, in that situation, Percy's got a very good chance of winning the aim duel, but Crosshair was all over the place, but not on Fiku. That's allowing Fiku to win that clutch. Nice stuff coming in. Team Secret, though, we can see the repercussions because of it. No money. And Anarchaz going for a bit of a hunt. This is really awesome. I love to see that type of stuff in a round like this.
definitely makes sense. I mean, you're on just dry pistols. There's not even a single piece of Kevlar in play at this point. So go and hunt. Do what you can. I think you always kind of know the win condition in these rounds is really non-existent. It's more about how much damage can you do. So that is your win condition, really. It's, okay, if we got 1 or 2 kills, great. In our minds, basically we won the round because of that damage. Not really much more you can do, though.
No, not really at this point. We got NHL. Yep, there we go. Get us through the final frag as. Yeah, not really nothing much you could do at that point of your team secret. I mean, it was just a simple full eco. You could go to try and hunt. I like what Undercats tried to do there, but even Ago were more than aware of such a push being a possibility. That's why one of the players was looking over there, was expecting someone from Team Secret to pop. Then he can pop his head. 5-5 right now. This is turning out to be quite a competitive affair between the two teams. No one really having a substantial edge thus far. Yes, it also comes down to the nature of this map. This is Mirage. This is a pretty close map. And, well, you see some aggression in the apartments, noise being made. And looks like the neighbors aren't too happy about it. Team Secret will consider to leave the apartments for now. And under Kesto, oh, there could be nasty surprise. And it is. Furlan finds the opening frag. And Juan Flatro, alongside Percy, also going to be going down. Juan Flatro responds. But now there's a lot more players to find. Juan Flatro, oh, he's lining up Connector. This is so impactful for him. Does go down eventually, but he has done his job. Now it's time for his teammates to step up.
What a round. I mean, the perfect frag grenade bottom connector as well. But it has to be said, you want to see Team Secret be a little bit better at dealing with underpass. They've allowed many an exploit from the CSGO lineup, all thanks to them being able to get out of the underpass completely unspotted. This clutch, unfortunately, loses a lot of its possibility due to the bomb placement. Losing a player top mid only makes that even worse. Fiku, if anyone was to get it done, it would be him, though. Fortunately, just as he turns his back to look Connector, he'll be taken down. Look at this, though. That perfect nade secures the first kill, and then he can just let rip for the second and third.
Oh, man. Juan Flasher, he's finding a lot of impact here in Mirage. This is definitely not the first time we get to see him find such impact, and I'm 100% sure it's definitely not the last. We're going to see maybe Ago change up the pace right now. Look at all 5 players. They're grouping up here, and I thought he's going to win that one. But no, the Krieg is just too damn strong.
Curious to see if this A-Execute actually has some legs to it now. Smoke's obviously coming through towards CT, stairs, jungle respectively. The molly forces the wide swing, but they get a kill on the way out, which is arguably the best you can really do as a CT there when you're being forced to make that duel. Furlan's goal, get a plant, retreat into ramp, but plant denied. Crafty boost in CT. This is a disaster now for a Go because their whole play is built around getting the plant and then playing after plants. Not having to push forward and force these duels. It's a little sketch, but they're making it stick. Probably just going to hold CT, waiting for Tudson to peek and looking to see what he can find. Tudson has the advantage of the fact that he's on the steps, uses height. Now his pick. Percy, meanwhile, will hit the deck. It all comes back to Tudson. Devastating clutch, though. Groby just hitting every single shot. Shame we couldn't see it from his perspective, as he was just on fire. Not only finding Percy, but to flick back to CT. But I think that's always tough. I mean, when you're in a 1v1 and you know your opponent is CT, there's only so much surprise that he has. Kind of either basically left or right, so very tough angle for Tudson to make work there to his defense. Does catch the AWP though, which I think is crucial. You could see just from looking at the AWP's point of view, that shot, even if it connected, wouldn't have actually been a kill. It would have been a tag because aiming at the feet, so interesting situation, but either way, pistols galore now. See what they can make work. Apparently a whole lot.
Grabby though, looks like he's gonna stop the madness. Now Percy, it's gonna go down eventually. I don't really want to bang on the player too much. In this round, Percy didn't really do anything too bad, but the previous round, you know, again, his crosshair positioning was dead on the player. Just when it came down to actually hitting the shots, that's where he seemed to have failed in that regard. And the player wasn't even really looking at Percy in that 1v2 situation. Oh well, some clutches have been going in favor of Ago, so they gotta give credit where credit is due. And those 2 rounds that have won due to clutches, impactful stuff. Like they're now sitting on 7 rounds during the T7 Mirage, which is a very formidable scoreline. They could be quite proud of themselves of their accomplishment. There's still a couple more rounds to be played out, so it's hard to say like in what manner, in what kind of manner will this first half end. Will actually be in favor of Ago. Ooh. Careful with fire, kiddos. It burns.
Ramplartro's getting aggressive here. Might actually be able to find MHL. Or not. MHL has been incredible at getting these first kills in the round. And Arquez, meanwhile, shenanigans in connector.
Oh, but this is some fine positioning from one of the team's secret players. Synapsy. Not going to stop the bomb plant though, but he can find one of the players here. Fika goes down. There is, of course, Palace that they must be very careful about, and Team Secret, ooh, they're going down. There's Synapsy hitting the floor. Percy will join him, and Tutson as well. That's, in fact, 8 rounds for Ago. They're able to secure 8 here on the T side of Mirage. And that's an important victory as well, because now Team Secret have really run out of money. And Arquez, though, it's really out there, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Not hard to accomplish anything in that situation, but Ago, you know, this is nice. This is the type of stuff you want to see from Ago here at the T side of Mirage. And as Team Secret have to pull off the investment, I mean, it's lackluster to say the least. It's simply not good enough, but they have to make do. And Arquez, I mean, he's been the main opera for this team, but it feels like he's found more impact with the scout than with an op.
In comparison, MHL has been unstoppable. This T-side AWPing has been supreme from him. I really can't stress that enough. He's been single-handedly opening up these rounds for his team over and over again. There are at least 4 or 5 gun rounds I can think of where he's opened up with either a single or in some cases even a double kill. That's what you need from your AWP on the T-side, especially on a map like Mirage where mid is kind of the gateway to the rest of the map almost. It takes you anywhere. You've got connector through on towards A, you've got window full towards A, CT to B, you've got access to short. Mid is just such a crucial component. That said, that's just an all-out scrap on short. In the end, it comes out to a 2-on-1. Fiku up against the wall, will go for the fake plant, spots him, tries to force the kill, gets away with it, and immediately now looks to rotate in towards A. The brains on this, huge. Thought he was then thinking about going for the jump back towards short. That would have been even better, but like the idea of him just rushing, getting the plant, and then perhaps going sandwich or ramp here actually just based on that position. But sandwich kind of an option if he wants to go a bit more CQB, but ramp would be the safer bet.
Well, Synapsy still has the smoke. 10-second defuse is a bit too much, but he should more or less realize where that grenade came from. Oh no, he has to switch up for the D. That's a bit of a blunder, but actually, he's just gonna stick it. He's sticking it all right. Fiku's coming in for the knife. He's gonna get it. And well, that was a little bit awkward, so to speak. A second time as well here for Ago, where a player just simply runs out of bullets in the clip, has to then pull out a deagle and hope for the best. It's a good thing the knife just, you know, goes out there and gets the job done.
I've never seen that happen so much in a professional game of Counter-Strike. Twice this series, the crucial clutches have been decided, like you say, by instant reloads. It's really kind of wild.
It really is, but mistakes end up happening. And if we were to take a look at the scoreboard here, this is what we were missing on the very first map here for Ago. Look at the scoreboard. Everyone from Ago seems to be able to contribute to the scoreboard. That's perfect. if it say on Nuke, it was primarily the show of players like Fiku, players like Krabby. At least now they have some support from the other individuals stepping up. So that's quite nice to see. But it's a bit of a different story if you take a look at the Team Secret camp.
Yeah, they actually almost did identical to what a Go did on first map, didn't they? Whereas they've got 4 rounds back-to-back at the start, and then basically nothing since then. Either way, second half certainly set to be quite something. Team Secret under pressure here to try and take the 2-0. Already on the back foot with a 3-round deficit. They'll be going into this one with the fairly standard buy-in. Just 2 players on the utility, 3 items of Kevlar. It looks like the B site will be the target. We'll see you've got Fiku and 2 other players there to support them as well. That's going to be really handy, just playing the retake A. That makes this B site set for quite the scrap as the push comes flying on in. Synopsy going to lead the charge, clears out short, looks towards backside. Short then completely dealt with. Tudson finds Fiku, leaves just Grubby now. As the rotations do come through, the teams are just taking every single gunfight they possibly can. And they're losing a fair few of them, to be honest. Percy rotates in a little late, but thankfully the bomb has gone down. But he loses every single duel.
Oh my, that's really satisfying for Team Secret because the initial push was looking very solid. They were able to pick up the 2 frags, but one of the problems that you can tell is that while it's having the manpower, they wanted to just gang up on the players and back aside, which seems like a very reasonable move to make, but I'm not really sure what happened exactly. But the Ago players that were in the back aside were able to pick up those players from Team Secret. It's impeccable what they've been able to accomplish, and the back of it, it's a piss around victory. Whereas for Team Secret, it's interesting. Looks like it's going to be a forest play here. Technically, you know, bomb plant, you might think of an eco here, then the investment on the next round. But here, this could also catch, like, Ago off guard. MHL is just peeking with a scout. He's not expecting anything. He's not expecting a Krieg on the other side. And this could really come back to bite them. I wonder who's going to win this duel. Krieg? Ugh, scout it is. Okay.
MHL this game has been on fire. He really has been, so I'm not surprised that he wins that duel. Likely even the chance for a little bit more here if they're not careful. We do see the counter boost come through. Percy take a duel, spots him. Shot doesn't quite connect, but immediately up onto ticket booth. That confidence now coming into play.
He wants to take that fight. Can't really blame him. He's been playing some stellar Counter-Strike thus far, but that smoke cape will, of course, block off his vision. But he still can go for a bit of a spam here or there. Maybe his scout will connect. Whereas Synapsy, though, oh, he'd love to break. Ooh, actually sees the player here. Now he's got the opportunity to break it. But at the same time, he's also been spotted. Furlan's going to win that aim duel. And now Furlan's getting up close. BMP actually doing a lot of good work. Finally hits the deck. Meanwhile, it's under Kez with the Krieg, holding the angle, and he's got to get that bomb down as quickly as he can because the rotation is happening from Ago. It's a little bit slow, and MHL again with the scout. So precise as well.
Just the impact from him as an individual right now really is just huge. Also, look at the last bullet UMP kill here. Last bullet left in the chamber. Last bullet that hits the head. What's not to love? To your point at the start of the previous round, though, now money is in less than a great place for Team Secret. They'll have to go Kevlar, a few pistols. It's not all bad, but definitely not going to be close to that full buy. Things really looking quite sour on this T side right now. They do get themselves something, though. The quick nay kill through window, just throwing frag grenades aplenty. Fiku does let rip in connector, so there is at least that. And if he goes back, he's going to die here through the CZ that comes in behind. This is actually looking like quite something. Oscar will be able to find Synopsy, so at least nullifying the AWP as Percy gets a little bit heated with the flames. But the A site has been completely given up, and with Flatro and co rotating towards that, we could be seeing a bomb plant here and ultimately the 2v2. That AWP is also on A, so if they can get to that, we are looking at a real round on our hands here, Danny.
I mean, they can also, that's the thing, yeah, recover some weaponry. There's the op you were talking about. Juan Flatcher can now make his way into the site, and Percy this is where he needs to land his shots. Is he gonna swing out too wide though? Oh, sees him, gets him. Perfect shooting here by Percy. Now, if only if they can get the bomb down, that suddenly becomes a very winnable round. Team Secret. Oscar, on the other hand, he knows that the bomb has been planted, and this is still a doable clutch for him to win. These guys, one of them is quite low in HP, the other one does have no Kevlar to speak of, but that angle is tight, and I'm not sure if Oscar is going to look towards it, but he has actually picked up a Molotov in his way, so now he could try and chuck it in there, so that would force Percy out of position. Now I think they hear the footsteps, they know what's going on here, and Oscar hasn't been able to find a single player thus far, so he might consider to retreat, but instead he's moving in. The Molotov's not simply good enough, and Percy will pick up some 2 big kills with the AWP, but again, from the get-go, the nade stack. Ugh. It's a common occurrence here in a map like Mirage. Always be wary about it. And Team Secret, what kind of rounds they win? These type of rounds, where they only have pistols. They somehow win them, Flakes. I just know.
I really hope that this is the opportunity for them to now step up and get a little bit riled up almost in this game, because they hit some good stuff there, right? They were actually able to perform, so just need a little bit more of that. Quick mid control. I like this. So notice how Go have gone extremely heavy towards A here. The scout, this literally scout team. There's no better way to describe this CT side than King of the Scouts, because clearly one of the most impactful weapons for them. Another pick from Grubby there on towards Fletcher.
Oh, this is a problem for a team like Secret, is that they really have to hurry up with this bomb site commitment, and it's actually working out for them. All the kills now in their favor. Because after losing the initial player towards ramp, I'm really surprised that Ago just decided, you know what, let's just throw caution to the wind and let's just push up a ramp. They quickly realize there's not a single player there, and they begin to make their rotation. I'm thinking, okay, Team Secret, they're running into a trap. It is a trap. And yet Ago not able to win those aim duels on the sites, and Team Secret come out on top. 8th round now being picked up, and it's also important to know that this was a purchase. They decided to go for the investment, and the investment was a failure. So 8 rounds here for Team Secret could also quite rapidly turn into 9 rounds. And by that point, that's only a 2-round difference between the two teams. So really, it's not like Team Secret are out of this matchup as of yet. Absolutely. Yeah, Holskirch just gets absolutely wrecked. The same goes for Fico as well. He swings out wide, hopes to win the duel against Synapsy, but of course Synapsy has the high ground.
Interesting how MHL has the first ranking for entry kills in this game. Just taking a peek at the stats on the back end as well, thanks to HL TV, and only goes to show just the value he's been bringing as a player. Really does.
That's a good start.
I like how just sort of chat about how well MHL's doing. You know, everything's going well for him. Shot in the head almost 2 seconds later. That is Caster's curse in a nutshell.
Yeah, it happens. Like when we were talking about the Mertz effect, and Mertz just not having any of it. Of course, now I got to focus on the Polish team, and I mean, in this round, you're not expecting too much out of them. If this would be the other way around, if it would be like 3 players in USBs, then that'd be Team Secret, not Ago. I'd say, okay, maybe it's a different story, because I don't know what's up with Team Secret, but something is when they have those pistols in their hands, they just seem to be so much better than with rifles.
I'll tell you another interesting stat. Person has 5 times as many support flashes. So that's kills that his teammates have got from his flashes than anyone else on the Ago lineup. 5 times as more.
That's alright, that's interesting. Very interesting tidbit.
King of the support players, what can I say? They're a valued commodity in Counter-Strike.
They are, but I'd say nowadays Counter-Strike has just become that you really have to know all the flashbangs and smoke needs as a player. You got to be as versatile as possible. The old days of just like one support guy coming in, okay guys, let me throw a smoke here, let me throw a flash here. I'd say they're kind of over in Counter-Strike. Now you just have to be a very good all-rounder. And if you are a good all-rounder, that's just how the best team is able to succeed. Like, for example, in the Team Liquid era, I guess you could say. Like, every single player was capable of being the star player of that team. And if you do know your flashbangs, do you know your smoke grenades, you can set up any teammate whenever it takes.
It's very true. My final stat of the day is that for those of you not familiar with the KAST metric, it's basically the percentage of rounds in which a player has either had a kill, they've got an assist, they've survived, or they were traded. So basically it's a great way of looking at someone's just impact in the game. Tudson has basically done one of those things 90% of the rounds in this game. That basically equates to 2 rounds, I believe, where he's not had an impact or done something. That is huge. That said, MHL, once again, no surprise, gets an opening pick in mid. Ramp is looking like it's about to get pretty spicy too. That smoke eventually will fade, and Wanfletro will have some competition on his side. I feel like I've just made him a posh tequila or something, Wanfletro. It's a slight change of name, but nonetheless, flash comes through. Fiku ready and waiting, caught back turn, but MHL plugs the hole. Comes in from CT. You think one smoke there from the T side, and it makes their life 10 times easier, but unfortunately not going to be thrown. That said, jungle support means Oscar is mollied off. Should now be flashed off as well, and should be easily tradable, but not the case. Oscar putting in the work. Thankfully, Secret do come out on top, 2-on-2. Site control is theirs. Can they get the plant?
Looks like they can. Synapse gonna make sure that the bomb is planted. Not only that, it's in a very open position. And now they can actually put themselves in some very good spots. Synapse, though, gonna make sure that... Oh, he's actually gonna join his teammate over there. This is very smart, though. Now, of course, the case for MHL and Grubby is that they don't have a kit, so someone's really going to have to stick that defuse as quickly as they can, and there's also the big problem of them not knowing where the terrorists are at. So now, of course, if your Grubby is just going to try and stick it, he's sticking it all right. Percy, though, No, he's not going to go for the peak now, is he? He's not. That's going to be the defuse here for Ago, and I'm not really sure if Percy... What? Probably
I'm guessing he just didn't hear the defuse
is coming through.
Yeah,
probably.
That's unfortunate. But the tough thing about that, where you plant a bomb there, is that there is a point where if you plant it a little too far to the left, actually not for sure, then it's not always guaranteed that you're going to hear the defuse, depending on kind of the angle. It's a bit touch and go, but suffice to say, not an ideal outcome for Team Secret here. 9-12, all to play for. The 2-0 still very much on the line here. Synopsy looking for first blood now towards B. Will find it thanks to a wonderful headshot on towards Groovy. MHL then dead to rights on short. We could be looking at a B hit here. Can Fiku save the day in connector? Well, there's your answer.
Really
Fiku's last man standing.
Yeah, he can hardly save it. Hardly he can save anyone at this point because everyone is dead. Ago. I mean, it's really hard to say that there's something specifically that they've done poorly or wrong. It's just that Team Secret, the way the players were positioned, they were just in the prime spots. You know, they were just able to go in there, to find the good timings to eliminate some of these players, and the Ago didn't really stand much of a chance. The quicks just ended up, the kills just ended up happening so quickly. Like a stack of dominoes just falling down. Ago, not much of a response in that round, and well, you can see the repercussions because of it. Barely any money. It's an eco here for Ago, which is, again, a good opportunity for Team Secret. Of course, a bit of a stack going on there in the middle. And now Anarka is actually just jumping his way into the B-bomb site. First man in. Not a rifler, not someone else with an SMG. Just the Opper jumping around, fooning around. Not finding anything, though, which probably is for the better.
You say that, just finds Fiku. Not bad. A couple more picks, but Oscar becomes the only player remaining for the CT side. A round that you pretty much do just kind of wipe away. You disregard this if you're a go. What matters is going to be round 24. That will almost be equalization point, really, for Team Secret. And not only that, the more pertinent point is that it'll be the opportunity for them to get 13 as well. Based on how the money's played out here. Also go will be on just pistols if they lose this next round. Some lovely looking carpet.
It's good. Wouldn't say it's something too spectacular. It's fine. And Fotro lining up the early smoke grenade there for short, and you see change of pace. Ago, you can see that they really want to hold on to this top mid control. They throw in the deep smoke grenade, but they can't really find a single kill though. Speaking of kills, there could be some on the B bomb side. On the other hand, Juan Fletcher, he has sneak pass through. Fiku making quite a lot of noise here in ladder, and no one, and I mean no one from Ago, is aware of this push right now. It is so slow. Fiku, the timing is just horrible right now. Team Secret have made their way into the bomb site. Now Fiku, though, you can actually get a backstab on a few of these players. They're not aware of him. Oh, the double peek, of course. Now Team Secret can barrel their way onto the side, but Ago still have a few players remaining. Still a minute here, and Percy and Co will, in fact, retreat. This is smart. Yeah, absolutely.
I love this because they know that market is going to be really messy for them. So rather than taking that risk, they do try and cross. Unfortunately, they face into MHL. That is not the jewel you want to take in.
And it was all working out so good as well. The timings were just really incredible. The players from Team Secret were basically breathing down the necks on the CT defenders, and they just didn't even know. There were players walking through short. That's the important bit. They were walking. No one was able to hear them. They were so conspicuous about this play that Ago eventually still pulled through from that free V2.
They do, really, but look at the money. Because they lose so many players and these rounds have been so punishing, they're still having to kind of scratch their way through this when it comes to the full buy. But arguably, Secret are actually better off here.
Yeah, now that you pointed out, it's actually a very important thing to note that, yeah, Aku, they're not doing too good in terms of money. So the thing is, though, if Team Secret just get one more gun run in, economy's messed up, that could be a few rounds where Aku just has to go for an eco or some partial investment, and Team Secret can still equalize the scoreline. That is a very viable opportunity right now, and I guess on the back of it, that's why we do see pause coming through, because this round in particular it really is important for Team Secret if they want to bounce back in this second half.
Perhaps, well, I think it was definitely a way into the game for Secret, just based on the economy of it all, as you've explained. Now they just have to execute. MHL, very much the man of the hour here. Once more, we'll go for the mid-peak. This Team Secret put him under pressure. They force him back, actually, into connector. This time around, unable to make it stick. I think he got a little bit of damage on towards... Oh, in fact, nothing at all. Maybe the chance to do something quirky through that smoke? Oh, boy. 2018 called. It wants its one ways back.
It's nice though for MHL finding that kill there through the smoke. I think who's going to continue on to hold on through connector. There could be one player coming through here at the very least. It's a shame that Anarchaz probably not going to find a lot of impact here. He's the player from connector, and there's Percy swinging out. Now, of course, there are a few individuals towards ramp. Synapsy, though, oh, I'm not aware of it. Not whatsoever. So for them, this is perfect. That's the bomb being dropped. Team Secret falling apart. Anarchaz is the last man standing, and MHL. 3 letters. You better remember the name. Ago. Able to win a very important round for them, because if they would have lost it, that could have been bye-bye to their economy. But now they still got a chance, a fighting chance, to put us on that third map.
Seems like Secret are really struggling to deal with this aggression from Ago now. 2 players deep in ramp there, completely catching them by surprise. Again, MHL in mid being able to just use, this time, a quirky one-way. to get a first pick. But the response from Team Secret is much of the same. They're still sending 3 players early mid, still sending the same player over towards A. They aren't really adapting to this play. The only difference is the molly towards bottom connector. Now, that sounds like a small thing. To their credit, that actually is quite a big thing because it should deny Fiku any ability to get out in mid early on. Instead, hopefully they'll retake connector together and check their angles. Synopsy making that incredibly tight. He's 4 HP. But somehow, through some form of sorcery, he's going to get away with it. But then gives himself up to Oscar as he walks through the connector smoke, just trying to deliver something. Not even gonna give that any coverage. I mean, that is just a disaster in itself. Thankfully, trades coming through across the map, but that is ridiculous. Furlan able to walk through the entirety of B-Apps completely unspotted. Single-handedly gaining bomb control.
And now this is where the players from Team Secret really got to creep up on this guy and take care of him. He could be quite the noise since Furlan's been spotted, and I wonder if he's going to retreat through the apartments. Probably not, because he's expecting someone on the site. That's perfect. The kill goes in favor of Team Secret, but they can't really go towards the A bomb site. They really got to go and make it work here on the B site. MHL misses a shot. That's very uncanny for him, and he's going to go down because of it. I go. Furlan, shall I say, in that position. Like, he did as much as he could, you know, goes in for the push, gets the kill. That's nice and all, but on the other parts of the map, you can see that his comrades are falling, they're going down, and the fact that he has to defend the bomb in such an optimal position really is dissatisfying, you know, because once the 2 players from Secret gang up on him, he really can't do much. It's just way too difficult.
If all goes to plan, Team Secret should be able to lock in 13 here, giving themselves a fighting chance at crowning themselves victorious, but it has been far from an uphill battle. This has been a war that feels like it's lasted a century. Secret have been back and forth with success and failure through every single round. We've seen many a great thing from them, but we've also seen some really poor decisions as well. Hopefully, this pause will give them something valuable. I'd like to see something else, to be honest, apart from the mid default. That's one thing that's been standing out for me a lot, is that it's been a lot of just 3 players early mid trying to force that aggression, which, don't get me wrong, taking Mirage mid control is really nice, but I don't recall the last time we saw them kind of resort back to getting aggressive on towards the B site early on, or going for an A execute or something like that. It's always been, let's get mid first and then try and do something like an A split. Maybe it's worth just going for an A execute start play or something to that effect.
That's what I'm guessing that should happen in this, maybe not this round per se, but for the upcoming rounds, why not? That's something that you can always fall back upon. You can always go for straight up execute on the A bomb side or the B bomb side, depending on where you want to go for. So far, Team Secret, they're just spreading out, feeling confident that they can actually fight for map control even on an individual basis. That also seems to be working out for them. There have been some errors for sure in their game plan. So far, they've remained very competitive throughout the entirety of the second half. And now, yeah, they can definitely hear more than a few players stomping around there in short. They might want to reconsider their options and look elsewhere.
Objective of this round is just to keep it clean. That's all they have to do. Almost a little ballsy to send a man on a solo mission through window, but fair enough. Why not be a bit exotic about the round? As long as you don't give an AK up to Fiku or Groovy. Nopsy's got completely behind them, so at least they'll be able to ensure, with extra measure, that the pistols can't do anything. Maybe even get a knife kill. Now would be a better time than ever. There we go.
Extra money as well. It's always quite nice. Going in for the shank. Ooh, grabby though. That's
This
the
is
thing,
the
he
problem, though.
recovers.
You just don't need to give him the AK here. You don't need to give him the chance. Literally last bullet headshot on Hudson. Thankfully, he's taken down by Anarchez, but why are we in a 5-on-2 there? Or a 2-on? So, like, it's madness. Very frustrating to watch.
But this as well, Grubby, he might have been unlucky with the first half when he was left in that 1v1 situation. And he simply runs out of bullets. But here, has one more bullet in that AK-47 mag of his. Boop. Headshot. Guess that's karma. Okay, back to the old shenanigans. Mid control it is here for Team Secret, and in a round like this, it's incredibly easy to acquire opponents on pistols, Grubby with a scout. That's about it. So it shouldn't be too difficult for Team Secret moving forward in this round. You still want to be careful though. Don't want to give any advantages to the opposition. Be extremely cautious because in this situation, I don't believe Secret are aware of the current investment the opponents have. So, MHL looking for a bit of a gap there for the smoke. It's about to fade quite quickly, so he either needs to leave that position or change it up a little bit. Remain in window, and maybe gonna get lucky, or gonna have a Molotov in his face. So right, one player down, a couple more to go here for Team Secret, and they will really move up the base right now. Tutson just spinning around. That is very weird. And now Team Secret still in a very winnable position, but look at Furlan coming in the backlines there through connector, should be dealt with swiftly, and he is. But that was a very weird sequence here. I mean, Finku, props for him getting the first kill, but Tetsun, whoa.
Literally, you spin me right round. It's a classic song that matches that moment perfectly.
It is, yes,
that's
a
ridiculous.
classic.
The fact that he gets a Zeus and the second kill there is actually insane. I mean, I try to remain professional for you folks at home, but I can't help but laugh when you watch those scenarios. It's those are the ones you just hate to see. Well, we love to watch. That said, I asked for an A execute, and I'm going to get what I asked for. The smokes come raining down, the play comes in, Fiku being nipped at as he's down to 16 HP. This is a crucial round at 14-14. We're all tied up, they're pushing back, going for the boost over the smoke, and I love it. Great pick on towards Juan Flatreau. To get the bomb down, they are desperate to give it a go. Finally, there we get it done. In towards ramp, into Palace. Now it's about the good after plants. 4 on 5, definitely a tight round, but a crucial one too. As the pushes start to take some shape. Fiku, another kill from him. This is just getting better and better.
Thing is though as well, the Alpha players, they don't have kits on their side, so they're really relying on their heavy fragging power right now. Synapsy though, still in position to get the frags, and now MHL tries to stick it, but he is a goner at this point. Very little time remaining, will be taken care of. 15 rounds here for Team Secret, they've done it, but it was a very weird execute because I'm not sure if you noticed at the very beginning, Flakes, I see the grenades being deployed by Team Secret, but someone left the bomb in T-spawn, so one of the members had to run back all the way to T-spawn, recover the bomb, and only then plant the bomb. If it would have come down to, say, 1 or 2 second defuse, you'd know who to blame in that situation. The guy who just didn't pick up the bomb and dropped it in spawn.
That's actually really close. I actually didn't notice that. It's a good catch. That's also just the mistakes you don't need to be making at 14-14. It's so critical that you just play absolutely perfect Counter-Strike right now. I honestly feel like Secret need to be so just on it, because as we've played out this game more and more, it just feels closer and closer like they are just... the level of play is dropping. To the point where I almost feel like if they lose this game, we go to a third map and I go, take this series. Which was not my expectation at the start of this at all. Which is with the way this has played out, it has been absolutely insane. Perhaps a go are just crucial on Mirage. I don't know. What I do know is the picks that they've been getting have been glorious. That said, the B plate begins to take shape. Furlan rattles away a few from the Famous, but it doesn't quite have the impact he's hoping for. Swings out once more. Still no frags to be found as it gets a little bit heated on the site. Not room for them all, though. Eventually, they'll have to clash. It's the CT side that take control. Quick trades come through, and in the end, it's a 2 for 2. Molly will first villain out. He'll get picked off by Anarquez, and now we finally have got ourselves in a good position for potentially the end of this game. Fiku, huge flank, though. Big kill on towards Anarquez. Flatro then gets aggressive as he realizes he's in a 1-on-2. Finds the first. 10 seconds remain. Fiku just has to play the clock at this point.
Flatros, he's just gonna stick it. Oh, that's so nice. Fiku tried to bait it out, but no, when Flatro sticks it. And now he's gonna get as close as possible to the van. Fiku, will he anticipate the player in this position? He does not! And Juan Flatro gets the one tap. 16 to 14, Team Secret are able to come out on top of this matchup in a very outstanding manner. Not only do they decimate the opponents on their own map pick on Nuke, but they're also able to just barely clinch out Mirage here. That is really nice. Team Secret come out to play.
Incredible result. They bagged themselves the 2-0, but they kept it incredibly close. That is a ridiculous way to end it. But, folks, that is us done also for the day. 2 best of 3s. Lock and key. Join us tomorrow for more action in Lootbet Season 6.
Going through the smoke, walks it, gonna go down, walks it with the AW
Position, Earthshaker's moving in as well. Echo Slam connects onto 2. Back row tire down as well.
always wins the brawl. Or can we cast the curse in? There we go.
Lootbet.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to Lootbet to cash out now.